Not massively. Honestly, I don't think City side or T side is going to make the biggest of differences from eSuba. What is going to make a difference is getting off positive, being able to start early and not being on the back foot. That's got to be the main concern.
Here we go, in with the USPs across the board, P2Ks on a couple of individuals. Kevlar across the entire eSuba board, and the double flash and smoke for Bubble to set for the execution for Fiend. They want to go in towards apps. They want to go into the B-side play. Twist sees them coming, sees contact, sees them dropping down, but can't quite take a good pop shot at them. Can't get it open and kill that. Honor goes towards Han, and Victor with a follow-up, and it was a 5v3 post-plant.
Jeez, he didn't slow down at all. Flash comes through. Terrible flash. They still managed to get the Glock kill in anyway. And for eSuba, well, that's pretty much the save, isn't it?
Yeah, no real way in for Savannah and Bloggers. This is, yeah, not going to happen. They'll try. I mean, they aren't throwing too much away on the pistol to get exit frags, and they might not be throwing anything to try and Hail Mary a retake. They won't go with the latter option, though. They'll just look for those exit kills. Deal with them as they come here. In towards apartments, Bloggers ready. A one frag, no such more than that.
And even when you look at the most recent performances from Fiend on Mirage, we've seen a victory over Skade, one of Bulgarian's top CS teams, a top 25 team in the world. We know that they've got a victory over Sinners, who we've seen have done very well recently, now making their way forward with a victory today. And Copenhagen Flames, another team that made it through to the RMR itself. So for Fiend, a lot of their most recent results haven't been against low-end Tier 2 competition. Instead, it's been the heights of Tier 2.
Yeah, again, Team Fiend competing at that particular level. Their opportunities against Tier 1 sides as well at certain points.
Yeah.
Lil's in, AK's out, Deagle in for Red Star, of course, on the follow-up. The Force Invest. Same thing for eSuba with the double scouts in play here.
Yeah, you'd have to imagine some sort of risk in terms of an info play, an aggressive move is going to be necessary for them to start off with an opening man advantage and just leave that first T-side player Victor towards the top mid boxes. And Team Fiend being quite passive in their default, not having anyone out towards that ramp or palace position. So something they do need to keep in mind is that there is a backstab potential that could come through. They are looking to split B.
Like I got caught, tagged up there. The smoke didn't quite bloom in time. Not covered up, and Molotov's in. On towards Twist. Should find him dead. Nice, easy frag for Dreamer. Petchin faces alongside Blogis in his kills together with Bubble. 2 frags to his name, trying to make it a triple with the USP. And Savani can get one good train on Victor at least. One being dropped in the open as well. Second shot also connects. Not quite the third one. Back turn to Red Star. Red Star makes it a kill of his own right, and a second round of the border Fiend. Decent damage done by eSuba there, but if it wasn't a force buy, then I'd consider it valuable. Unfortunately, again, it's not going to be a follow-up, so the damage can't be reset.
Well, they had a good read, I'll give them that much. Yeah, they got caught off on that top con smoke, and a lot of damage came through onto Luco. They had 4 players on that B site rotating in when the hit came through, so they had mass numbers to try and defend at that bomb site itself, just not really being able to find all of those connections. Dreamer peeking forward out to Palace, simple kill to start off.
Frag found. Mac 10 in, Red Star. Look out towards. He connected position, finds that kill on the first man. And follows suit with a trade back, so there is 1 casualty being taken, but it's a Mac 10 casualty. Dreamer's come up with these 2 picks. They're just facing into that short position as the bomb goes down. Pitching down to 2 points of health. And yeah, this will be a third for Team Fiend. Nice attempt at least to get some damage on the board for eSuba, but it's not worked out that way.
You've got to imagine as well for the in-game leader of Bubble, it's nice to be able to sort of get a team in and around that top 30 position, because hasn't really been there for a couple of years. The last time was when he was playing on Wendigo. He had that stint on Smash. Do you remember that, where they had like Neeks and Fates was a part of that lineup? They had that whole international team, and I think the highest they got was about 40 or 50th in the world. And for Fiend, they're now borderline top 30, and they've even been there at points.
You can see why we're able to start eSuba suffering very early into this matchup. Still got the gun rounds to come forward for them. This will be the real test for Team Fiend, of course. Dealing with the pistols as effective as you can, just not allowing much to go their way. One of the kills is appropriate, and of course with the M4s, the AWP out for Bloggis. See what eSuba can do here in our fourth round, our first gun round, and Bloggis is going to immediately take that one straight up towards that mid control. Hoping he can get a good shot in, but just gets naded and burned down at 47.
Yeah, it's early damage being taken, and for Fiend just running out the defaults. Haven't really seen anything set-piecey as of yet on their T side. They know that their defaults are strong. And for eSuba, knowing that the AWP has been tagged up so early, you'd have to imagine that passiveness in terms of positioning is going to be needed from Bloggis. Fiend, plenty of options to bring that bomb back out to ramp or over to the apartments if they like.
Rotation comes back in towards that B side, seems to Bloggis' part. Try and join the lone defender of the B play and twist a little bit of util thrown back and forth between him and Bubble. Smokes again up towards top con for Fiend, going to indicate the A hits on the table, or it could indicate a short play. Got Petchin up in the ladder and we're ready to receive them, but they're all stacked in the ramp, so it's got to be the A hit.
Yeah, I've got to imagine that a molly could come through to Savannah, out to CT, or even flashed over the top. Bubble now coming away from that lurk towards underpass. It could be the first point of contact out in CT.
Also being AUG watching here, sees the first shoulder, sees the peek away. They'll put bullets back down, ready to try go for the wall bangs, but 2 kills come in for the CT side. Looker and Petchin getting those frags together. Trade is involved for Dreamer. Savannah still not being dealt with as Bloggis comes up with his AWP pick, and 2 players left standing for Fiend. The bomb trying to aggress back towards jungle. Oh, this could be a bit awkward for the man involved. Petchin held back behind connected control. Does get faced in, headshot back now to a 3v2. Bomb's going to cross and get planted right here. AWP can deny it. They're going to try hunt for the kills instead. Headshots being seen. Victor gets his kill now. Red Star's got to go for the plant. AWP could fire away. AUG could look for the picks in, but Victor is baiting them forward, getting 2 kills to his name. Straight through the box on a triple. And Fiend come up with a recovery for 4.
Oh, what a round for the big man. And that whole situation is slow it down, work out the mistakes. They fake that bomb plant and they draw so many of those CTs out from spawn. eSuba knows better than that. That looked so easy from Fiend, and they were just toying with them. They were committing to so many fights that should have been the checks round, and instead, Victor and Red Star just worked together.
Incredible stuff. Absolutely incredible from those two. And obviously, those are 2 of the top high players during that nuke map for Fiend in that second half as well. Saw some brilliant plays, of course, from Red Star and from Victor. Combining those efforts to make this round work out in the early part of Mirage. Kill on Han will start things off for Fiend, though. They're on Deagles with the half-bite. They catch up a headshot to start off the round.
And it's moments like that that really do show the potential of this world-class team. You know, someone that is really on the borderline of moving into the Tier 1 landscape. eSuba, they'll be frustrated with themselves because they would have felt as if that round was in the palm of their hands. They had the advantages, time was low, they knew where the players were, and still, it just does not come through.
Slowing things down here for the Fiend side. Working towards that B side, it seems they have got Twist and Petchin. As Petchin got that earlier deagle shot as Victor can finally isolate a tray back on Savannah. Here they come. 1 player close sight, 1 player out towards this short control. Great kill on the first man. Bubble going to be flanked in by Petchin. He gets involved with the 2 versus 2. Doesn't pick up that AK for much longer here. Loco, 8 points of HP. The bomb should get crossed here and should get planted. Shots not connecting for the deagle. And yeah, he should be locked out of this site and out of the round.
Yeah, Victor coming in, him and Dreamer just working together, 4 kills between them, and it was an expensive one. It was a decent eco coming through from eSuba out to the site itself. You could just see the way in which the entry fraggers slightly struggle, not being able to follow up with a massive amount of kills. Rifle's going to come back in, and for eSuba, they've got to end the streak at some point.
The question is when? In this half? In the next half? The next round? They're getting closer and closer against Fiend, admittedly. The half-by did really limit us down to 2 players on the T-side line. And they do get that good round in. That could shut down the economy state as well. A bit of a lopsided money basis here for Fiend. eSuba can punish that if they can get a good rifle round in.
And anyone that knows Dreamer knows that he is an incredibly patient lurker, and he will hold a spot for over a minute. 80 seconds if he needs to. So him lurking in from Palace, you can't get gutsy. You can't just start making a play of moving forward, because if you do, he's going to cut you off. Look at the map control he's found in the last minute. He's moved like 10 steps forward.
He was at back of Palace about 5 seconds ago, and now he's at front of Palace. That in. So Red Star starts looking in towards the apartments in the B side, and Pix will separate him from seeing Twist. Dreamer finally starts to swing out, duck down, finds Savani, kicks things off with a kill on the A site. Doesn't bait in a rotation though. All it does is clear out short as they make their way back center of the site itself. So Han and Victor start making their way in. M4 burst in for Pechin. Sees players coming back out, utility on site, flashes and Molotovs. Going back and forth, 27 seconds. Pechin spotted and sprayed by Bubble, one man left in Twist, all the way back out to the market entrance. And Victor just drive-bys him, just doesn't even look at it, just like, yeah, okay, I'll just fire, it's all good. It'll connect, as will that for Dreamer, all 5 alive for Fiend. Wow, what a dominant start for these guys.
Yeah, they're an exciting team to watch, hey? That peak coming forward for Dreamer. And for a moment there, Twist is thinking about rotating away from market. It's only when the contact from Luco on the site comes in itself that they actually hold at bay. And Victor just with a great frag out to the market window itself. The lurk of Dreamer catching off another player in the apartments itself. Oh boy, Fiend up 6-0. eSuba really not showing much on the CT side at all. And Han just picks off out from Ramp. Couple of kills, well, that's A pretty much open.
Yep. Yeah, what can you say? Bubble does get 4x3 for a second. Pechin's caught looking the wrong way, and he still turns around 180 to deal with Blogis. Twists 1v5. Try to find something here, but he's just going to burn to death. 7-0. Fiend on a roll. eSuba thinking very deeply. It's appropriate that their name could be short for submarine, because they're just going so deep into this without finding anything.
Yeah, they're having a difficult time here, and for them, you even start thinking, well, what do you do? Because if you're getting set-pieced, okay, well, let's have some more anti-rush nades to start making some info plays. It's just that Fiend had been so default heavy that trying to set themselves up to make counter plays is going to be difficult. We could have maybe a bit more attention on mid and a slight more aggressive setup. Maybe even get an AWP boosted up into the apartments, looking down. Some more info plays coming into eSuba could help out. It's just that everyone is fragging on this T side. No one is dropping off.
That's scary. Like previously, when we saw Red Star going 15, his teammate next down from him was like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
You could at least say, right, well, you might not be able to deal with Red Star, but you could deal with everybody else. Right now, you can't deal with anyone. Fiend are just too good. AWP in for Blogis. Having to find picks against the T side line. The utility on, the flashes, the smokes, all the standard stuff on their respective entry positions. Savannah holding center of the A site, but it's just passive from Fiend. You talk about the patient player, the lurker at Dreamer. The patient calling from Fiend in general.
Yeah, well, they know that there's no point spinning things up. There is a missed smoke that comes through from window out from Han, so that's going to have to get re-smoked. A slight waste ever so slightly. AWP looking in from top con, just waiting for a peek to come forward.
Jump face from Han as he looks up. Loco's made his way away. Incendiary's on towards top, going to try to stop anyone from making their way out of it. They've still got the connected presence though, and this is going to be a split play in from Palace and in from Con.
Dreamer's going to start pulling the attention away. They might not know they're even out towards the top pod position. Luco picks in slightly too late. The AWP finds a pick. It's a 5-on-3.
Pechin going to get burst down upon here. Dreamer can find that trade back, but Twist comes in with a supportive frag and doubles up as well to drop the bomb. Carrier player on site, found by Savannah. Continuing to strike in back at the firebox position. The first round of the ball of eSuba at last. And Team Fiend kind of caught off guard. A couple of mistakes being made towards the connector entrance. That's all they had to work with there for eSuba though.
There was some good crossfires being set. You've got the single player out from jungle, CT with the AWP, and then even Savannah playing from firebox completely undetected. And they kind of just all peek together, and Team Fiend are just looking all over the place. They're not sure what angles to pre-aim at the start. And that's the streak being broken. And is this a Fiend tactical? Because I have a feeling it would be.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Which
of course
is
it is.
quite characteristic actually for them.
Yeah.
They love taking the tacticals. They have that one good round, that one round which goes good for the opposing side and not so great for you. And immediately the tactical just like, right guys, like these are the mistakes we made. Let's not make them in the future. And then from there they get their 8-1 and fly away the rest of the map. That's how it usually goes for Fiend in these tac pool scenarios. So seeing this come out for them, not shocking at all, but it should be concerning for eSuba.
We'd have to definitely do some research, but it's almost unheard of in this sort of level of competition that anytime you lose a poor round, you take a tactical, because there's some teams, I mean, even take Sin as an example, they hardly used any tap pauses in their series.
Okay, he's in for Victor, looks for contact immediately, sees Luco. Connects that spray together, suspecting that another player right back in position. Blind spray towards Savani. Getting his kill together. Right back to try and suppress some vision on towards the CT side. Gapping that smoke towards the CT spawn. Twist could catch Victor, or Victor can just do that, which is what he's been doing all map long so far. Are we even shocked? No, we're not.
Yeah, not really. Jeez, he's cracking heads. Victor is just one of those raw entry fraggers that you could just put in so many different positions, and if you provide assistance in terms of util and players to distract, he's going to get you kills. And there, just out from the ramp position itself, dealing with the first, great adjustment. And then as soon as that molly goes into under balcony and gets smoked, right, I know where the second player is, and it will just work from there. They're even hunting the player out to the apartments, backstab in from bubble. As soon as there's sound cues being made on the B side, there's going to be an easy kill for the backstabber. And they're trying to pull the attention over. Pete comes in, very well achieved.
And just contrast that to the last round from Team Fiend. Sheer confidence and presence of mind. Cypher going suicidal, trying to hunt this last player down. I think they might have just gotten away with that last rifle. We'll find out in a second. eSuba, however, have lost the 8th, have lost the half. Fiend. Just what a round from them. They just look so unbelievably good.
Yeah, they do, and things are looking very exciting out from the Fiend side and all. eSuba just trying to see if they can move forward ever so slightly. Blogus going for a more aggressive approach with the AWP. Hasn't had many aggressive rounds.
Kind of needs to change things up though so they can get something back. Some sort of return scenario. The killing for Bubble still catching Luco off guard. Blogus can turn that all back in from TopCon. Heading back to a 4 versus 4 as the T start diving their way back out. Flashes in. SMG caught off. Nice and easy for Red Star to drop the man. Petchin's still about here. Molotov out. The footstep get hurt. It's going to get cleared out by Victor and does actually find that pick together. So 3-on-3 situation and Petchin just still holds position. Red Star still trying to hunt for that player. I think he just saw his shoulder. So killing for him. Hahn finds a frag as well. And Savannah now in a 1 versus 3 clutch.
Honestly, this is kind of winnable. You've got 2 players low on HP. If you're able to isolate a couple of individuals, it could be on. He's got a kid to work with. He's been seen straight away. There's a couple of kills, and now it's a 1v1.
Got to get to the defuse, though, and rocking on 23 points of HP. Hahn knows the pistol could be enough. And the bomb's open for his position. Savannah's got to go for the wall bangs. Nades on. Tags that player up, forces him out into the open, but now Hahn knows what's going on. Flashbang turned away from, no, turn back into. Tactic, the bomb defuse, hit the bomb defuse. Hahn sees what's going on, forcing back off 1 point of health. Enough for a single tap and to just save the round for Team Fiends.
Well, thank goodness Hahn played that passive, because the 2 guys out on the bomb site itself got cleaned up so damn quickly. These entries into the site itself really helped out. Petchin just staying alive for as long as possible. Red Star and Dreamer peeking together, still falling, and Hahn just playing time. Realizes he gets off the bomb. P250 is going to get the job done. 9th on the board from Fiend.
The Eagles and an SMG back in for eSuba on the half-buy investment. Not a lot working towards their favour here in this next round. The Eagles have at least done their early damage. And the kill comes in for Savani. Bubble struggles to deal with the second player as well. Gets that first kill at least. And also a flanking from Blogus being undetected. Bomb getting dropped to 3 versus 2. A heavy stack in towards that ramp control. Fiend were just unready for that.
They are going to have some real difficult times to win this round back. Bomb is not quite in the CT control. They know where it is. It's just the HP numbers, and it's trying to see if they can bait a fight forward. Red Star's hoping that he can clear out this ladder room area, make a play out from jungle. He's got to start regrouping with his teammate Hahn.
Try going for a backstab and try to find a flank angle here at Palace. I don't think any of the CTs are watching it. AWP is the big concern. Actually, Petchin is watching it from here over at the sandwich angle. Continuing to take his aggressive face, continuing to try and hunt out for these individuals. Utility at his feet could utilize that. And not being spotted, and the flick misses as well. Flashbang back in, Molotov to drive him back out of the sandwich angle. And meanwhile, Luca has caught off Red Star as his peek out towards the jungle position has gone right. 20 seconds left of the ball for hard to stay alive. I think this is going to be a round for eSuba. And indeed, with that SMG kill, that seals it. 2 AKs and an AWP saved. An eco steal for the CT side.
Yeah, well done for eSuba. Good crossfires, nice backstabs. Fiend just kind of caught off guard. Very stagnant out from that connected position itself. We saw them struggling with some of the picks forward out from the Palace position. Victor and Bubble not having it easy. Another tactical coming through.
Indeed, Fiend.
Fiend
Another
again,
round, which, yep, according to the logs on the server at least. Tactical timeout called by them. Back of another round loss, and again, it's characteristic. They're in the lead by a significant margin. eSuba just took a steal round away from you, so let's just stop for a second. Let's try not to let that happen again, especially with guns coming out for the CT board, some of which are ours, some of which are AK, some of which have a lot of firepower behind them. So our head Kevlar is going to be null and void to 3 individuals on the eSuba side. Have a Fiend take that moment to rethink your strategy and go into this with a new lease on life, new lease on this game.
Even just a amount of flashes coming through out from that mid portion. Petchin is still keeping eyes out on short, so he's going to get the indication that they're not taking this mid control at all. This could be a fake from Dreamer out in Palace and just a big Zac.
Jump face from Twist. Hunting for players out of the apartments. We'll see one. I think only one, though. That gives up the ghost here. Bendigo's going to charge straight in. Victor dealt with by Twist at least. Smoke back down. Could get caught off guard. He gets himself into some harder cover as the T try and flank against him, and Red Star will catch him off guard. 4v4. Bomb yet to get planted, but eSuba yet to rotate their entire force, and the first contact player is found on the frag count, so a 4v3 scenario.
And they've still got to lurk towards that top mid position. That's Dreamer catching off Savannah. That's the round done. They really can't go for this. Petchin's moving forward.
He's found a pick on one. Red Star and Dreamer are also pretty tagged up. Red Star especially. Petchin gets Han next up. A high speed AWP at the drop back, and he swings on the Red Star as well. Dreamer in the apartments, a 1v2 to hold off against them. They're on the defuse. AWP's watching the position, and Blogis will hold it down for eSuba. A third up for the CT board, and now things pick up for them.
Oh my goodness, what a round coming through from the 23-year-old Petchin. Having a great sequence. It really didn't seem like that was on at all. The peak onto Red Star, and then just having the faith that the AWP is going to hold your line. Bogus getting involved in the last position. eSuba, that was a round of magic.
Big stuff from Petchin. And now the AWP, Savannah gets involved for a little bit more. Tagging hard at the 7 HP already in the AWP battle. AK of Red Star sees one man, can't get that tap together. Meanwhile, Luca's going to fall out to connect to his bubble. Finds his pick in mid and falls the hell out of dodge. He's also low HP. And Fiend can find that second kill, isolate it, open up the B site already. No attention is being drawn back on the rotation. Still 2 CTs back here on the site itself as Red Star hunts for that next player. Petchin will get that trade, and now they have all the info as to where Fiend are going.
Savannah out from CT. They're going to pick out Dry and actually line up for the bomb to get dropped. Now the CTs can start coming back on rotation.
Re-advantage. Bloggers gets his own AWP involved for a kill onto Dreamer, and Han stands alone to run away with the AWP. And maybe if Fiend had rotated to that B site, that could be a very different story entirely. He has got an open site still. If he can rotate fast enough, he can get the bomb down. The question is, will eSuba react in time?
Jeez, how annoying. That's a 5-on-3 advantage coming through from Fiend. The pick out from Con. Even Bloggers is starting to hear some of the footsteps. It may have gone the other way. Han's expecting that backstab. That's at least a pick.
Now they know where that bomb is going. Molotov towards market. Plant to be secured immediately. Open for short's a bit of a risk, but no one's there just yet. And no one's going to come from there either. Petchin now being watched with the eye of a deadly AWP. Han ready for his clutch. 2 kills to his name in a 1v3. See to the flick, and he connects it to Savani. Oh my word. Han with no points of health, no backup, and surely had no chance in that. Steals the round from eSuba again.
Oh my goodness, the last shot, Jay. This one's acceptable. The flick onto the last player. Oh my goodness. What a shot to hit. What a clutch to come out from Fiend. I don't know how they do it.
Iron Heart's still going. He's still going. He didn't want that clutch to end. Direct to the head of the first man. Looker already dealt with. And Savannah just keeping himself held together with the smoke down towards the bottom of the ramp, trying to rotate out of dodge. Try find a pick back, try find an angle to work with against Fiend, but they're not giving up his position.
Oh, eSuba just feel like they hit a brick wall after that round. And even Red Star seeing the aggression out from the apartments does get traded. That's a great pick from Petchin.
And we'll continue to regress here. Is Bubble going to be ready for this? Yes, he is. The dink of the M4's not good enough for the dink of the AK. Advantage Fiend once again. Footsteps made to give info back towards Dark. And Bubble's going to continue the campaign. Try sell him on a B here. But just that flash going out, and again, the CTs will hold their line and find a trade for it. Really face back into harm, though. It's going to be the mistake for Savani. He gives away his position. And gives up the kill with no weapon in hand.
And there's still so much time for them to work with. They've sent the AWP out into the CT position they should have. Bloggers moving forward, does drop the bomb. They know that he's had a triple.
Now Twit's going to start the rotation. Tyler makes his way out through the smoke. AWP v AWP battle. Not spotted, nade involved. Bloggis looking up, shots ringing out. Now AWP gets aggressive. The jump phase does not get on top of the box itself. The no-scope still finds itself in. The flick's not quite as good against Bubble. Low HP against Twist, and Twist can win that fight. Keep it together for eSuba's fourth.
We are just seeing wild stuff happening on the server. Great no-scope in for that AWP up close and personal from that default position. Petchin doing as much as he can, getting that dink off onto Bubble, not quite the full connection. And for Savannah, just not expecting the AWP to be posted from there. Bloggers doing well out from the site itself on A. Missing that quick scope, you think, oh, it's going to be over. Hits it up close, and his teammate of Twist is the one to come out on top in the clutch.
HP advantage made it easy, and Fiend going into this last round of the half have Deagles on the rebuy. Yet to see a set piece from them. I think that's what they're going to set up right here towards this ramp control. There are enough smokes to go for the jungle stairs and CT positions. One coming in from the CT side, already going to suppress them over towards pallets. They will just put the Molotovs in. Flashes going over, the smokes do come down in the end. One of them not used on Dreamer's part, might use that for the post plant itself. Incendiary on the site. I think they're just going to sneak the plant in. Spray through, Red Star sneaks underneath their noses, but falls to Petchin in the post plant.
They haven't been able to gain any map control. They're all stuck on the site itself, and there's so much utility for the CTs to work with to keep forcing out further fights.
Petchin with another good frag onto Bubble. Bloggis comes up with his kill. Victor got to go massive and only gets one pick for his trouble. Han in a 1v3. Another clutch for him this time without the AWP. Flicks together. Twist going to overwhelm. And the fuse will be stuck for eSuba to recover. Oh, it was a disaster start as Fiend went from 7-0 to 10-5 at the turn of the half and going into their CT side after the break. 5 rounds to make the difference. Fiend still lead against eSuba, but towards the end of the half, eSuba did start to look great. They got themselves together, but now comes the real challenge of the T side. Fiend, known to overwhelm on this map. Is this going to be the moment they take full control? eSuba out towards the A side. They haven't checked the palace entrance as Bubble comes up with a kill on the first and that second. Pressured in from all sides, but his teammates have got his back as Victor gets his 2 kills and Blogis left alone to fall down and give the pistol up to Fiend.
Oh, what a read from Fiend. I don't know if it was just an anti-strap material or a gut feeling. They had so many players on that A site itself, and of course it helps the Bubble's not really being checked. Is he out from that palace position? He can get the first pick, dive down the ladder, stay alive, and continue doing damage.
Brilliant stuff. Getting from Fiend, looking so good in these early halves and in these early pistols. Setting themselves up for a single destination, that being the 2-0. Right on track with 5 rounds to get there. Petchin's going to charge out for eSuba on the force bite. He seems to want to get out of dodge though. Red Star can get caught off guard. He still finds 2 picks for his trouble. Peeks back in with Dreamer bursting through the smoke. And that can allow his teammate to escape dodge, rejoin with the main CT forces. Converging upon the site. Try to deal with Blogis. Try to deny that bomb plant if at all possible. Savannah. That's back in the market entrance. The Tech-9 so far forward here. He does get that 1 frag, but as Victor drops that bomb, Blogis just left to fall.
And they're just up towards that short position. That was just so smart from what Fiend did. So Red Star gets 2 kills on the anchor roll itself in the side. As soon as he sees those arch smokes, he goes, right, I'm just going to go through your own smokes and hide, because do I really want to lose an M4 and fall when I don't have to at all? Absolutely. So I'm going to get out of here. And notice as well, they've got a 5v2 and things get quiet. The short players start backing off because they have the feeling, well, eSuba, they might not go for the bomb plant straight away. They might try and engage in a couple of fights, see if they can continue doing damage, and it just falls into the trap.
Well ready to deal with them, and of course to get control, even not with even a bomb plant here for eSuba. Cash in the toilet, eco bases with the Eagles out. Victor's already found that first pick. Han's going to farm up some money as Victor gets his 2nd kill on the A side defensive. Petchin forced away. 1 player underpass accounted for by Dreamer, and Fiend just got every bases covered right here. Han keeps his eyes on the corner just in case there's a bait and switch. Bombs drive out from Blogis, trying to see if he can get a bomb plant in, but no one is going to get anything out of this round for eSuba. 13-5, Fiend with all 5 alive. The buy up now for eSuba to get to the first gun round of the half. They can't take this. I think we're done here.
Yeah, agreed there. eSuba, they need to be able to strike, and they've got the AWP out for Bloggers. It is going to be a glass cannon AWP, so that's also something to consider in the way that he positions himself. Lots of money to flow for Fiend. They're not upgrading the MP9 or getting an AWP out for Red Star or Han.
Molotov's in, Luco. Working towards the underpass position, expecting CTs to be out there. Petchin can find Dreamer. The burst fire of the CT side, trying to predict past that smoke. Tanking nades back. Return nades should do even more damage. Not quite as much as Fiend might have heard. Bubble thinks that they've made their way in. I think he heard a footstep sound. Completely blind fire. Luco's going to find his gap in the smoke itself. Bubble's going to pre-fire this, and he doesn't get it.
That's an important kill. Victor's getting sort of stuck out from the sandwich position. Han, how many can he find? Couple. Oh, close to the 2nd.
That twist was dead to rights. So much damage being done to Savani as well. Savannah. Red Star swing in. Sees his mountain, drops that bomb, drops the AWP as well. Still lurking out towards jungle when they thought they had it cleared for Fiend. 2 on 2. Victor. Watching. Waiting for Petchin to make his way up. Such low HP as well for this man. If Victor can lock on and just keep his eyes set towards Ramp, he'll win this round by default. That bomb still to cross out. Twist keeping his eyes on. Spray through. Kill found. Petch in the face. And Victor to find a double. For a 14 for Fiend. eSuba getting closer and closer to losing this series now.
And it's rounds like that, which I can't understand how you're not converting. You've got a 5v3, a 1-for-1 trade, a 4v2. There's so much util. Why is none of it being used? They don't have any information out to that jungle position itself. No smoke goes down, no molly, and just individual dry phases. And it's eSuba making these small little mistakes that cost them in a huge way.
The fast plays in and tries to let the defaults out. Bubble did see the likes of Blogis turn away from him for a moment, but just right back to the headshot. Clotheslines him out of server. Bubble follows suit onto Savannah as well. Victor looking for the next player, and Twist. Twist can get one good frame. It's traded so quickly though. And look, I mean, what more can you do here in Connector? Burst fire, 15-5, match and quarterfinal point for Team Fiend.
Yeah, eSuba just going in quite quickly with the half buy. They've got a decent amount of investment forward with the Kevlar and the pistols. Damage doesn't really come through. Yeah, they get that pick on the Victor. That's all that they fight into the round. One more to go for Team Fiend to start making their way forward into the upper bracket.
Overpass should not be our final map of the day, it doesn't seem like, unless eSuba do something monstrous to bring us back. 14 rounds in a row, I think, is what they'll need to get at this stage. Trying to stop him from getting any further progress. Just one mistake will cost them everything. Victor knows that. Aggressing in towards ramp, holds his own, gap and a smoke for Twist. Victor might give up the angle. He's seen it, he knows. Straight through, wins that first fight, rotates away with Util coming in for the execution set for Team Fiend. Han ready, focuses on towards Bloggis. Savani going full, Petchin gets his one trade, but he is set as the lone man left here for the ace, for the clutch, for eSuba. He gets Resto as well on the triple, but Han with a Tech 9 shuts him down. 16-5, Team Fiend will have themselves the 2-0 series, and they'll be moving forward to the UB semi-finals.